How are we all doing, everybody? Hope you're all keeping really well, and welcome back to a brand new video on the Infinite Baffle channel. My name is Niall, and today we're actually joined by a very special guest in the form of Steve from Airt Audio, where we're going to be breaking down all of the Entreq range and seeing what difference it could make for your system. If you do enjoy this, as always, it'd be amazing if you could leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe for weekly hi-fi content if you've not already, and let us know if you've got any questions in the comment section down below. Let's get into it. Hello everybody, so we're joined today by Steve here from Airt Audio, who's been kind of showing us the ropes on a lot of the Entreq, however you want to pronounce it. Entreq is what we're going to go with today, I think. Some of their products kind of A, B in them. We've had a really good morning actually, just kind of playing some records, doing some testing, and we're going to have a bit of a rundown now of the range, what they bring to the table, and just the noise floor. Is that what you...
We refer to the noise floor in audio as the base level for your music. The lower the noise floor, the better the music. So I guess if I run through the system, as we said, we start with a J Sikora Aspire turntable, which comes from Poland. J Sikora use high mass for their systems. This is the entry-level turntable, and it still weighs 25 kilos. ADAS cartridges from Lithuania. Again, handmade cartridges with dual suspension systems, exotic materials. Just really fun things to use and play, and something to really cherish in our industry. Is a well-built turntable, well-built cartridge. Unipivot Aspire 9 arm, comes complete with the deck. So as a complete package, it's a £7,000 approximately turntable and a £5,000 cartridge. Not normally put on this deck, but it just shows how good the deck is, that it can manage to take that level of cartridge and still sound absolutely amazing. That's plugged directly into the fabulous Gold Note PH1000 phono stage, which we've calibrated and set up to match the cartridge and the output. So that's set to 220 ohms impedance. RIA curve is set to standard because the records we've been playing are all fairly modern. The output gain we've upped by 2 or 3, and it was a borderline between which setting we wanted to use. And then we started to use Entreq cables, the new core point technology from Entreq, which actually affects the magnetic field around the cable.
This is what was all, not to cut you off here, Steve, but this was all very kind of new to me. This is, I think, the very interesting part, because a lot of this is very much designed to basically make the signal as clear, as transparent as possible, and kind of hear the music with as little interference as possible. And I was very surprised actually how effective it all was, but carry on. I didn't mean to cut you off mid-flow there.
Bring me back on track, please do. I think the key point here is that with any system, lowering the noise floor is where we major. And the whole point is that we've got a fantastic turntable and a fantastic cartridge, but what we want to do is protect the signal from the turntable all the way through the system and out the speakers. And we need to lose as little of it as possible. We can't add to the signal because that would be just adding distortion, but we can protect the signal. And I think that's what we've shown today that we're able to do by using magnetic field control, by using the 4 pillars of lower the noise floor that we employ. Room acoustics, to make sure the room is well damped but not over damped, is really, really important. It could be anything from bean bags in the corners of the room or boxes in the corners of the room to exotic room treatment systems from Still Points or Acoustic Applicata, the brands that we use. The next thing we would do is look at actually look at mechanical decoupling. So the guys here use a wooden rack which each shelf is decoupled. So to add to that, we've actually used a protector shelf underneath the amplifier, which is an Entreq product, that actually uses magnetic field control built into it, which links to the chassis of the amplifier itself. We use Still Points underneath the phono stage, which again help to remove high frequency energy from the chassis of the product and decouple it from the shelf. And basically it absorbs energy created by the product itself, and it means that doesn't get re-amplified and put back into the system and then is not heard again, which is what we want. We've got the turntable has its own ceramic bearing decoupling system, which also helps us to level the turntable, makes it very, very easy to install and operate. And that all works really well from the mechanical side of things. I think just behind us, I don't know if we can see, we've actually got some what are called vib eaters on top of the loudspeakers.
Yeah, I'll lift one up just to show you guys. These are what we sometimes call the hi-fi mice, that like little mice is the unprofessional way to call them.
Well, they're called vib eaters, and they eat vibration, which propagates in the top of the loudspeaker. And it's surprising how effective they are. So you just literally put it on top of the speaker, give it a shake, put it on top of the speaker, and over time the little chippings inside vibrate and rub against each other, and the friction caused by the moving turns the energy into heat and dissipates it through the product itself. So they are really, really effective if decorative. There is a long story about Per Olaf designing that as a tube, and his wife said that's a boring shape, and he said, but if you think you can do better, you design something that looks better. And she came up with the Entreq mice, which I think are really quite cool. We've sold countless numbers of them to people, and you have different sizes for different products. So the heavier the product, the bigger the mouse in effect. And if you put too heavy a mouse on a light product, you can overdamp, which again isn't as good or is less effective or too effective.
They're great as well because they're so easy to kind of show people, because you can take them off, put them on and immediately see what difference is there, which is always really, really helpful.
And they look cool as well, and they're a bit of fun. But the technical reason you're putting them there is to remove unwanted energy from the top of the loudspeaker cabinets, which ends up as noise or distortion. So they serve a really, really good purpose. So mechanical energy is now controlled. Electrical energy, or RFI, which is in the environment, it comes from our mobile phones, it comes from your network, it comes from the 4G, the 3G, 5G masts, whatever they're sending out these days. And is actually our hi-fi attracts that RFI because they're big lumps of metal, and RFI will go to the point near, the point of least resistance, ends up on our hi-fi. Our manufacturers all know this problem exists. They all try and mitigate against that in the factory and in their testing and in their design. However, in the real world, they don't know where these products are going to be sitting, where they're going to be near, where they're going to be near a TV or a plasma or a power supply or something that's outputting a lot of energy. What we can do is by using products like we've got one just down here.
Yeah, I'll grab one.
Like this little macro box. We can attach a cable to this. There's a cable just down here.
Yep.
As well. Sorry, here's one we prepared earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, what we can do is using this box. This is an attractor. So this is a destination for the energy to go. And what we do is we can just hook the cable onto here. He says if he does it elegantly. Okay. Screw that onto there. And then what we can do is with the other end of this cable, we can connect this to various different places on the system. So it could be a spare RCA socket. It could be, if we had a pair, they could be the negative loudspeaker terminals, but you have a left and a right. If you do that, it can go to a router or network switch. Lots of different places. Very effective on digital products, so CD players, anything with a digital to analog converter built into it, streamers. And the cables themselves can connect to these boxes as well. If you have Entreq cables with the outgoing range, they would have connected to a ground box such as Discon or Macro box, or one of the bigger Telus 3 boxes. These again, you have a different size for different products. So if you have a relatively light product, you have a smaller box. If you have a really massive preamp power amplifier, you will need a bigger ground box because this won't have enough potential. And again, we can also fine tune by changing from a copper cable to a highly polished silver cable. And there's a range of different cables that have different signatures. So you can tune the cable and the box to the system. I don't think any other brand has that capability to be surgical like we are with Entreq. So this is the electrical grounding of the system. So that's the second pillar that we work to. So you've got room acoustics. You've got mechanical energy, third pillar, electrical energy. And now the new fourth pillar that has been something we've been working on for a very, very long time in the background is magnetic field control. Completely different. However, every single cable that has a signal passing through it has a magnetic field. Has to. It's the law of physics. As Scott said, you cannot change the laws of physics. So we now move on to core point technology.
This is, I think, what we've probably been playing around with the most today, kind of seeing how effective different levels are, because there's different variants here, and some have different, how can I word it, they take different shapes into how they affect the sound, so it's not necessarily that one is better, one is worse, it's very much about fine-tuning one to your system, which is always interesting.
Yeah, absolutely, and it gives us, again, it gives us a real advantage in terms of being able to surgically match a cable to a system in an environment. Never been able to do that before. It's like you buy the cable, that's it. Whereas now what we have the ability to do is to put the cable in the system and then fine tune it. It does add cost to the system, but we also view it as upgrading the cable simultaneously. So if you bought any of the new Entreq core point technology cables, and there's 5 ranges of cables to choose from, you get one of these core point panels with a wooden nut, and literally you plug the cable into the system in the normal way, and you just literally hook the cable on and tighten the peg down, as so. So this is stage 1. This is the cable that you get as you ordered it from new. Now we have also worked out over the years that different metals have different effects on the magnetic field. So we have a range of 7 different plugs that you can add to the core point technology to replace the wooden nut.
Yeah, this is the thing I was referring to just now.
So if you take one that's, just bring the whole thing over.
You can see.
So for example, this one has got a molybdenum. I can't pronounce that either. Coming from Norfolk, it doesn't help either. And in effect, all we do is you take the peg off of one and you put it on the other, tighten down. And we've been hearing instantaneous differences the second we do that.
Yeah.
And the guys have never heard this before. I've experienced it over the last few weeks. It's sort of a bit mind-blowing that just changing one peg on one pair of cables can actually change the tonality of the system. What's
cool as well is that you can kind of hot swap it, can't you? So you can literally, there's no need to change, you don't have to turn anything off and plug anything. You can literally just change this around, and it's just like immediately you hear the difference, which is quite bizarre, to be honest with you.
I've again been in the industry for 40 years, and this is the first time, without actually unplugging something and plugging something back in, that you can just get that instant change. And it's the understanding that the magnetic field around the cable is what's actually carrying the signal we're listening to. The signal does not pass through the cable itself, it passes around the cable. And it's understanding that which has led us to, and per Oliver to Entreq, to experiment with different materials, different plugs. So we go from anything from a titanium right through to molybdenum, tungsten, and different metals that actually have different characteristics when you plug them in. It doesn't always work that the same applies in each system. So we're suggesting that you buy a basic cable, and then at some point, if you fancy an upgrade, you can try a selection of different posts, and then you can tune it to your given system, your environment, and your personal taste.
I think the interesting thing is that we speak with a lot of people, and with hi-fi generally, it's always about trying to absolutely squeeze the most out of your system that you can, trying to find that little extra edge. And this is another way of perhaps doing that. I mean, you did an analogy earlier about how obviously having the curtain, then a dirty window, then opening the window, and this is the kind of thing that helps to strip back the layers and access more.
I'm sure somebody else used that analogy before me, but I've been in so many training courses over the years that some of it's stuck, obviously. But it's like if you're listening to music is like looking at a window, and if the window's closed and dirty, that's not well set up. So by cleaning the windows, we can get a little bit more information or see a bit more. But if we open the windows wide open and just look straight out, then that's really what we're looking for. We want that, we only get a certain amount of time for our hobby to sit and enjoy listening to music. Get it as good as we can is paramount, really. If you can do that for a sensible uplift in cost, then it's protecting the investment for the rest of the system. And I think that's the key point to make. It's about getting the best performance we can from the equipment that we already have. As I say, we're just about getting the best performance we can. Value for money, yes. Is it cheap? No, it's not. But do we get results? Yes, we do. And I think that's the key for us. And I think the guys at Audiophile are with us on that. They're supporting us. They've invested in the brands themselves because they've heard what it can do. And it's a case of getting you guys to come in, have a listen, enjoy, and see for yourselves and hear for yourselves just what it can do for you. So I think that's where we're at.
No, that's amazing. Great breakdown there, because, I mean, bless you, Steve, because I would have a job explaining all of this. Obviously, you were a lot more experienced at this than I am. So, amazing. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it.
No, you're more than welcome. And thank you for having me today. It must be about 35 degrees outside.
Oh, can
today.
you tell? We are hot. We are hot. I'm not going to shake your hand because my hand is moist.
Oh, we don't care.
Thank you, Steve. Really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. And say we've got another afternoon of listening to music to come. So
there you go.
Hey, I think we'll just. I'm going to stop talking and play some tunes.
More of the same, please. More of the same. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Take care. Thank you.
A massive thank you again to Steve for giving up his time to be with us today and filming this video, showing us the ropes on the Entreq range. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as we have, but that is going to end the video. Again, if you have enjoyed it, make sure to leave a big thumbs up on it, and we'll see you all in next week's video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys.